and shed it. Right? So these Edomites, they have to bleed on this land to cleanse it. It has to be a lot of blood, and this land will never be, inhabited again.
Right. That's why the Most High got to send them ICBM missiles over here.
God, them arrows, them lightning bolts. Right? Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. So, hey, that shows you right there that he doesn't care about the rest of the heathens. Right. He don't care about the other nations. He dwells with the Israelites.
Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Exactly. That's them taking babies from mothers during slavery on an auction block. Separating families. And you can't do nothing. You're in another land. You legit have no power. Right. That's where we're coming from. Right? To now, at this time, we still have no power. Right? But we have power in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. That's a big difference.
Right. Hey, all you gotta do is watch 12 Years a Slave or Birth of a Nation and read Deuteronomy 28:15 and going down.
It all relates.
You gonna see it.
Exactly.
How could these Edomites be the children of the Most High, man? It don't make no sense for them to be. You know what I'm saying? Because the curses just don't apply to them. And even if maybe you could say a few of them could, and damn sure not all of them. They can't do that. Of course, the devil. They'll try to.
Yeah, have one example, but he might be a Jake.
Right. Right. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. See, and some Jake get messed up like, well, it says a nation that we didn't know. It's like, well, listen, when we was in West Africa, so-called West Africa, we didn't, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's saying that we didn't dwell with them.
Right. Right.
That we weren't following their ways, and we were separate from them.
Right.
They were doing them, we was doing us.
And same thing with the northern tribes, right? So, the people can't grasp that. Yahweh, the Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee.
And that's why, Jake, you wonder you got back pain. That's because of these curses. Jake always complain about the knees or the back,
especially when it rains. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
Yeah.
And listen, people are like, well, how did the Native Indians get included in that? Because they knew the land. They got shipped other places too.
And this wasn't the Americas was not their true land.
Right.
Right. South America, North America, that wasn't their true land.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
Right. That's why they call us niggas, spicks, wetbacks, coons, all that.
Among all nations, whither.
That's why they make minstrel shows, like the Cat in the Hat.
And if you look in like a lot of Asian type of like literature, they got mad racist shit too, like towards so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? And besides ancient times, when have we ever been around Chinese motherfuckers like that? But they just hate us because
we're special.
Right.
We're the children of the Most High. That's why, at the same time they hate us, they want to be us.
Mhm.
You know,
Come.
they're fond of us.
Come.
That's why you know, these Edomites and all these other heathens want to touch our hair.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and want to move like us, want to, you know, dance like us.
Yeah. Show me that dance you did. I just saw you do it.
Yeah,
Right.
but teach me that.
Right.
That's why even it's wicked. Jake started that whole twerking thing, right? Jake started all these dances, you know. That's why these Edomites, they be listening to Jake music, right? Like the apostle brings up, Jake started country music, you know. Started that whole thing. Was it Tennessee? So I don't follow country like that.
Oh, you don't, man? Come on, man. Hey, that's our music, huh? It is, but it ain't. Not anymore, right? Hey, well, listen. Even though he's a homo, damn Lil Nas X had the biggest damn country song last year.
And it's still going.
Motherfuckers still doing remixes. Oh, dude. Hey, Jake, the salt of the earth.
Exactly.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards.
Which is a curse from Egypt. So the curses of Egypt were on us. Or the plagues of Egypt, if I may say.
Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Exactly.
All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume.
Yeah, speak to you for a minute. My name is Kelly. A man just bought me some food right here, and he gave me a $15 gift card too. Well, he bought me Coca-Cola and gave me a $15 gift card. Another man though, yeah. But I got $15 gift cards and goods for $50 worth of food at gas right here. Gas in the restaurant. I'm selling it for $7. See, y'all can be in for $7. Sure.
Yeah, we don't got our money on us.
Yeah, no money.
We don't come and do this with our money on us. Yeah,
Okay.
one of these people will do it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, this. Hey, these curses are real.
Yeah, because Jake bugged out. He gets $7 out that car. He only need 3 more for that rock. In reality, you know.
Hey man, but you know what? I mean, it's Esau. I mean, they're technically, in a certain way, we can't even blame Esau because
we gotta blame ourselves because we went off. That's why the curses are on us. That's why he sent Esau. You know.
Right.
That's why it says in the scriptures. It says something. Which is thy sword. Let me get it. Protect, save me from the wicked, which is thy sword.
If I had $7, I probably gave it to him. But again, it's like, just, you know. And you know, hey, we hate seeing our people in this condition, man.
Right here. Psalm 17 and 13. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right? So he sent the sword upon us.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up thee above thee very high.
Which is the heathens.
Right. And thou shalt come down very low.
Have no inheritance, inheritance, you know, nothing to pass to your children, you know, you have no governing body, you know.
Hey, it's like every week we out here, Jake, and different Jake ask us for money or something. Damn near every week, man. Hey, Jake, but you know what? These curses are turning around Esau, because truthfully, I see more destitute Edomites probably than anything now.
They know not to ask.
Oh yeah, cuz. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Hey, that's spiritual, because we're going into the curses, and then, you know, the destitute Jake come up.
Yeah.
The Most High would give you an example, man. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Until Yahushua comes back in thee. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Which the Lord shall send against thee. Right? Wow. Oh, if there was a God, why he wouldn't do this? Yes, he says he did.
Right.
Right?
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
During this quarantine, where all these supplies are running out and stuff like that, where do you have to go? You gotta go to Esau's places of business, you know?
Hey, is that the guy?
That's no, that's
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, damn.
I have different women.
Okay. Yo, what is it? Maybe it's a downtown thing. Maybe all women that like white men come downtown.
This is, I mean, they got money down here.
Right.
Jake follow the money.
Good. In nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Hey, you know what?
That yoke was real. You know, there was an actual yoke, you know, metal, you know, heavy metal upon our neck. That's chattel slavery.
Right. And you know, this kind of actually harkens to the mark of the beast too, because to eat, drink, and all that stuff, for the most part, people are gonna get the mark of the beast, and that's a yoke of iron that's gonna be on a lot of people's necks taken. You know what I'm saying?
That's the new, yeah. Actually, really, it is the new to show that you know, you don't own yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right. Esau does.
Yeah.
So and man, these scriptures come to life.
New world order with a new show of the slavery.
Right.
You know? A new step to the slavery, where they actually clipping you. That's why this is the biggest year, and it has to go with these prophecies and with the mark of the beast. This year they pushed this 2020 census. They pushed this thing so hard, you know, for some reason. Why is there commercials of the 2020 census? You know, they want to count the number of the Israelites, you know, and then, hey, that's why in the commercials, most of them are Jakes, you know? Yeah, they got big plans for this place.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Right, talking about the Roman Empire.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Yeah, we didn't speak their language.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. That ain't the so-called.
Gotta be the Edomites. You know why? Even if you go back to Psalms 137, it talks about happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth his little ones against the stones, because that's what they did to us.
Right.
You know?
And we all know.
Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Right.
You know?
Right. And these so-called white people are the modern day Babylonians, the modern day Egyptians, modern day Assyrians, any wicked kingdom that we was up under, that's them now. ye shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
That's why even when they did in 68 AD to 73 AD, they surrounded Jerusalem.
Right.
You know, that's why we was. That's why the Jakes in there were eating each other and stuff like that. Besiege all thy gates. It was literally they surrounded us. You know.
Wherein thou trusted this throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, right, your children, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which
And that's coming back in a major way.
Hey, especially the women. The women don't even like being around their kids. With school out and everything, and you can see the look on these women's faces. You think they're not? You think if they didn't have nothing else to eat, you think that they might not? Little Taquan, you think they're not gonna fry them up?
Taquan.
They might.
That because even in the scriptures it says how they're I'll just get it real quick. How they're associated with the ostrich. You get Job 37. Job 37 and 19. Actually, it might be Job 38.
It's got ostrich.
Yeah, I see me good. Can I really see it? Oh, wait. Can you go back? Okay. So let me get this one real quick. Lamentations 4 and 3, it says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. So now we're going to read in Job how describing what the ostrich is, right? Which is basically the woman of Israel right now.
You want me to start at 13?
No, go to. Yeah, actually. Yeah, come. Let's go to. Start there. Go 13.
This is Job chapter 39, verse 13. Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifteth up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider.
Right.
Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck?
That's really it.
Okay, come.
So it just shows that first they're cruel, they're not taking care of their kids the proper way, you know, and they're letting them be, you know, with the forces of the world, you know.
Hey, well,
It says they deprived her of knowledge, right? Deprived her of wisdom, and have not imparted unto her understanding, you know.
Well, that's why the scripture say, "Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." Because even right now, even if things wasn't going around, women aren't raising the children right. The women are more concerned with going to work and dressing for a man at work. And thou shalt eat, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 53. And And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power have given thee in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
That's hard.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Right, because we was royalty. Now look at us.
Fallen. Set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. And
and what you see these demons be hopping on your woman? That's right, because of it. You know.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, and thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy power, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance,
right,
and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Yeah, so we got the plagues of Egypt.
Which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude.
That's why during the triangles, or what's it, triangle slave trade or something like that, or
Triangular slave trade.
so yeah, that we lost over 300 million. You know, like you know, Jake's just dying. You know, just from being transported. You know, being captured. That I heard when they would capture Jake, that they was killing Jakes if they just had too many of them, you know. And then what was it? And it was Moors, right? That was doing that. That was hunting down Jakes. And then there was then when they get over, you know, going with Esau, you know, they were dying on the ships, you know, by the bad conditions. And then what's it called? And if there used to be different navies that it was illegal to sell slaves anymore to the Americas or like different lands, that they would dump all the slaves into the ocean. Because you think about it, if you look in the ocean, you might be able to see over 80 miles down the path, you know, or way far, you know, in the ocean, so you can see the ship. That gives you enough time that you can get all the chained up Israelites, right, and dump them into the sea, you know, and have them all sink to the bottom, you know, get eaten by sharks and such, right?
Well, that's one reason why when you were saying about you said the navies were intercepting some of the ships.
God.
That's the reason we have the transatlantic slave and heights of some of the slaves that were on those ships, because they were stopping them and bringing them back to you know, so-called Africa or whatnot. So that's why we have some of the names, which are in Hebrew.
Right. Even the names of the ships, who own the ships, you know,
That's how we traced it back to them damn Amalekites.
Con.
Right? Hey, these nations gotta pay, man. Yeah.
They said the ship stuck that the docks didn't want to take the ships because it stunk so bad that you could tell that one was coming before you could see it because of the stench.
Well, they had to live in vomit, feces, urine, women's menstrual cycles, right? All over. I mean, see, people.
And you try to give, hey, where was the Purell?
Right.
Where was the Clorox wipes? Right.
Hey, but that's the devil. Hey, most slaves wanted to die on the ship. Not on the ship, but they were jumping off.
Nah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 63. And it shall come to pass.
And we're already on 63. Yeah, we went through this quick.
And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Yeah, so Jake is everywhere.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but
wow.
the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Then sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. Wow.
And thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
All this because you didn't want to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Right.
You didn't want to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
In the morning thou shalt say, would I'm just gonna read it verbatim, would God it were even, and even thou shalt say, would God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
That's why Jake says you gotta take it day by day. You know? Yeah. One day after another.
And then one of the main scriptures of Hebrew Israelism, right? Deuteronomy 28,
That really
68.
it you know, it's a major part, you know?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Yeah, Egypt meaning bondage with ships. You don't need to, if you're already in Africa or you're already in the Middle East, you don't need to travel by ship to get to Egypt.
Right.
Right? It's a new Egypt. It's a different Egypt. It's a different captivity.
We got to get that in Revelation too.
I got it. This is Revelation 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies, talking about the Israelites being spiritually dead, the Negro, Latino, and Native American being spiritually dead from their heritage, right, shall lie in the street of the great city. And these people so impudent, you know, hard-headed, you know. They say, oh, the great city, what are you talking about? Chicago or no, this whole place is a big ass city, right. You know. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, right? Where also our Lord was crucified, right? Which they took away that the true image of our Lord and put up a false image, you know.
and in America, no other place pushes homosexuality and
Oh,
things
God.
that were in Sodom and Gomorrah like this place. All types of sexual wickedness is upheld here, and then it's also
God.
Egypt because Israelites were held here,
And
all
we're still
12
held
tribes,
here.
and we're still held here,
Yeah.
right? America is all wicked kingdoms combined into one.
Yeah.
Right? Which ultimately makes it Babylon, kind of. But
It is Babylon the Great.
Babylon,
Right.
yeah. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there, right? That's important. And there, meaning in Egypt, ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
No man shall redeem you.
Right.
That's what that means.
Right. Well, people be like, well, you said no one will buy you, so that can't apply to you. It's like, look, anytime you sell something, because it always says we're going to be sold. Anytime there's a sale, there has to be a buy transaction. It's a sell and a buy and a sell. It's basic accounting,
Nah.
you know? So, yeah.
Where it says, it's gonna be the last scripture. Unless something else comes up. They will serve captivity together. Jeremiah, I want to say 50,
Children of Judah.
or maybe, yeah.
That's your question,
No.
I think it's.
I got it. It's Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Right? And that was in this land, America. The same way that, Jake was led into slavery with ships. Well, what happened with the Native Americans? And, they came here by ship, So
Hey, and
you can't, you can't escape from these curses,
right.
But we're gonna get out of these curses when your house shot comes back. And it's gonna be a whole nother song.
Whole new damn ball game.
Ah. Hey, with that, we went through a lot of information. With that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakab, Radah. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone for teaching us this truth. According to the Bible, in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Good. You're an Israelite.
Huh?
You know you're an Israelite?
You Israelite? I'm aware of that.
Okay, that's what's up.
And call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
All right.